Hey YouTube, I'm back once again with some more pickups. This could be a long one. There's quite a bit of stuff here. I've got probably a little over 3 weeks, no, a little under 3 weeks worth. Some stuff that I bought on eBay and Amazon. A bunch of stuff from out in the wild, and a few birthday presents as well. So yeah, we'll just get into it. So firstly, for my birthday, which was a couple of weeks ago now, I got these 3 new sci-fi poster series Blu-rays. So The Matrix, Cloud Atlas, Ready Player One. I love the art on these. I remember seeing them in HMV when they first came out, but at $9.99, that wasn't the price point that I was gonna buy these at. Anyway, I shoved a bunch of them on my wish list on Amazon, and when it came around to my birthday, you know, family have that wish list and they can just pick anything off there they want. And I got these 3. Now, one thing I didn't do when I saw these in HMV was actually remove the slip, and I was a little disappointed to find that they've all got just their standard original artwork on the sleeve underneath. Get that one back on. And I figured, well, what they've probably just done is taken a bunch of these standard releases and just put a new slipcover on them. But then when you look a little bit closer, for one, they've all got a poster inside, so they would have had to have opened them up to put the posters in. But they've also all got these new style BBFC ratings that are now a new a legal requirement. I mean, the BBFC ratings have always been a legal requirement, but these newer versions are now a legal requirement for any new releases. So I thought, well, you know, they've put them on the slip covers because technically the slip is new, but then when you go deeper, all of them have got these new ratings on their covers underneath as well, which means these have all had to have been reprinted for these releases. So why didn't they just put this new artwork on there? I can't answer that. I don't know. It's a little bit disappointing, but yeah, I really like these covers. I think is it 12, 13 in total, maybe even 15. I'm not sure, but I definitely want to get them all. Like I say, I saw them in HMV, but $9.99. That's a bit above the price point I want to pay. Eventually, these will start appearing in CEX, probably at the same prices as the ordinary versions of these films. So like The Matrix is only a couple of quid, I think. Cloud Atlas again is only a couple of quid. Not that I would buy them too again, but that's, you know, they're all you know, older movies as opposed to new releases, so they'll all be only a few pounds at most, I think. But if once HMV reduce them, unfortunately they don't do the 5 for 30 anymore. 5 Blu-rays for £30. But they do 2 for 13. So that might be a price point. Once these hit the 2 for 13, I might start getting some more of them. But yeah, I'm really happy to have those. This is a little bit awesome. It's the complete Band of Brothers and Pacific Blu-ray set. I've never seen any of these. I do own them both actually on DVD in the collector's tins. I've just never got around to watching them. So yeah, really happy to have grabbed that. Well, I didn't grab it, I got it for my birthday. Just the other day, maybe last weekend, on eBay I spotted this. Spider-Man 3 comes with this, I don't know if it's limited edition, but it's an alternative artwork with the slipcover. I've got the first 2 movies out of this set. I come across this occasionally, but it's the first time I ever saw it with a slipcover. So like I said, I saw it on eBay. I put a watch on it, and within a couple of hours I had an offer from the seller for £2.90 free postage, so I grabbed that one. So now I've got the full set of 3 of those. This arrived actually yesterday from Pete, Blu-ray Bullet Brit. I won one of his prize draws a week ago. The 2 movies was The Expendables, the extended director's cut, and Olympus Has Fallen, which I already had. Olympus Has Fallen. I do have The Expendables, but I didn't have this version. But the Olympus Has Fallen had the slip, and I didn't. So he sent me the slip with a bunch of other slips, which I've already taken upstairs. So yeah, I'm glad I have that. I haven't seen this version, so I'll probably be watching that sometime soon. So if you remember a video I did a few weeks ago now, I recorded, went out on the 12th of January up to the Metro Centre, Newcastle, Sunderland. Just having a look around the HMVs, and there was a few specific 88 films Blu-rays I was looking for with the slips and limited editions, and I couldn't. One of them, there's a few of them I couldn't find, but this one particular HMV still had in stock online. So when I got home that day, I ordered it, thinking that I wouldn't come across it. Dragon Lord, another Jackie Chan movie. As it turned out, later that week when I went down to Harrogate, they had this in stock. At that point, this had already been dispatched, although I hadn't received it, so I didn't get it that day. Thankfully, it was the right one that they sent me. This one, again, but this one came from Amazon. It was on James's Movie Mad Facebook page. It had been reduced to £3.38, so I jumped on that. Steve McQueen in Le Mans, or Le Mans, however you want to pronounce it. I don't know if I've ever seen this. Whenever I think about this, there's also another one called Grand Prix, which I have on HD DVD. I love that movie. So I'm not 100% sure whether I've actually seen this or not, because I kind of, even though they're totally different cars, I kind of get these two mixed up in my head. So yeah, I'm not sure whether I've seen that, but for, like I said, £3.38, that was definitely worth getting. Then a couple that I had pre-ordered months and months ago that finally arrived over the last couple of weeks. Spookies. This is part of the 101 Films Black Label series. Spy number 19. I have vague recollections of seeing this back in the 80s, but I don't know if I've watched it all the way through. But yeah, chuffed to have got that one. And then an 88 Films box set that I was humming and hawing on whether I should get it, and in the end I'd already pre-ordered it, and I didn't know whether I was going to cancel it or not. And like I say, in the end I didn't. I got it. So you've got the Urban Legends trilogy box set, very similar to the I Know What You Did Last Summer trilogy box set that they released earlier this year. So happy to have got that one. It's still in print, so the I Know What You Did Last Summer set I think went out of print quite quickly, but this one's still available. 30 quid, yeah, maybe a little bit more than I would have liked to have spent, but not awful. Then next up, we're looking at charity shop pickups from 3 different towns over the course of the last couple of weeks. I'm just trying to think what came from where. So firstly, this last week I've been actually doing jury duty, so I've had a bit of time at lunchtime and once it finished as well to have a walk around Middlesbrough. It turns out there's a new charity shop, which, what was it called? Fair Place Animal Rescue. Now it's in an old Maplins, which is the electrical component chain that closed down a few years ago, or a couple of years ago. It's a reasonably sized store, bigger, certainly a lot bigger than your general charity shop. Now I was in Middlesbrough, I think on the 17th of April, less than a week after lockdown ended, and it's right opposite the entrance to the Hill Street Centre, which is like the indoor shopping centre. And I always come out that entrance when I'm going to Scope, which is just a couple of doors up, and I'm sure that it wasn't there that day. So I think this store's only opened in the last couple of weeks, but they had a lot of DVDs. They had a whole wall of DVDs. Nothing much that I particularly wanted. There were 50 pence each or 3 for £1, but they did have a small stack of Blu-rays. So for 33 pence each, I thought, what the heck, I'll grab some. There was a couple that discs were missing, so I guess people had pinched them. But I got Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol, Robin Hood with Russell Crowe. Don't know anything about this one. It looks like a horror. Husk, Cowboys vs Aliens, another film I really enjoy that most people don't like. Yeah, another copy of The Hunger Games, but just for the red case, and a copy of Skyline. So for 33 pence each, they were definitely worth it. Also in Middlesbrough, from the British Heart Foundation, they had, so I'd thought at least, reduced all their Blu-rays to 99p. Turns out when I got to the counter, I hadn't noticed one of them wasn't. And this lady had spent quite a bit of time typing each one of these in, because I think you've got to type in a code as well as a few other things to to get it into the till. I didn't have the heart to say, you know, I don't want this one now. So at $1.99, I still got it anyway. Hush. Again, I don't know really anything about that one, but I'm sure I overpaid for it. I haven't actually looked on CX to see how much it is, but I imagine it's cheaper than 99. This is 40. I'm just trying to think of the film that this follows, which is escaping me right now, but it'll come back to me. But yeah, I'm not seeing that one. Some more Jackie Chan, Robin B. Hood, 99p. I was happy to grab this. I don't think I've seen this since I saw it in the cinema, Vertical Limit. Enjoyed that film. And then something I've never heard of, The Collector. Right, so I've just been talking there for about 10 minutes without ever pressing record. So I'm going to have to go through all this lot again. So where were we? Knocked Up this was the sequel to Knocked Up. Kind of. Now I'm not seeing this, but from what I can remember when this came out, the two stars of Knocked Up, Katherine Heigl and Seth Rogen, as far as I'm aware, aren't in this movie. The main cast in this movie were like the supporting cast in that film. Right, moving on to still in Middlesbrough, so YMCA. So the YMCA, over the last year, I guess, I found some decent pickups in there. I got all those VCDs, those video CDs in there last year. I found a few Blu-rays in there, including 2 different versions, American releases of Wild Things, oddly enough. And a few video games as well, and it's mostly video games that I got here, but the first thing I spotted was the only Blu-ray that I was interested in. Planet of the Apes. This been, from what I remember when I looked it up last time, is a Tesco's exclusive, available for a limited time. When you buy Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, get Rise for free. And they come in this nice little sort of a sleeve that just goes sort of a third of the way up. So yeah, I quite like these little exclusives. I do already own this one, but It was only £1.50, so that'll go in the bundle that's will go off to paint. Then a few games, a couple of these, I think, yeah, 2 of these for CEX trades, and the other 2 are going on eBay. So firstly, for the PS4, Shadow of Mordor, this was £1, trades in for £1.60. It's brand new sealed. Probably wouldn't have bothered had there been nothing else, but as I was buying stuff anyway, I decided to grab it. Again, this was the same. It was £1, trades in at £1.60 in CEX. When you type this one in, there's only one version of this on CEX for the Xbox One. It turns out there's actually more than one version when you look on eBay. And this version, I think is it Legendary Edition or Anniversary Edition? When you look at the sold ones, brand new and sealed, which actually both of these are, sell between 25 and 35 quid, or 20 to 30 quid, somewhere in that mark. So yeah, this one's definitely going on eBay. So that turned out to be a very good buy. This one for the Wii U, a little bit more expensive, £3, but it's a RPG by the looks of it. Hyrule Warriors, so we popping that one on eBay. And then finally for CEX, this one doesn't sell that well on eBay, but it's a £6, it's £6 or £8, I think it's a £6 trade. I mean, it was £3.50, but you know, it's a little extra. The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, it's got some weight to it, this actually, but it's got, as you can see, slipcover. There's also a bunch of extra stuff in here. Got like a book, poster, which is like a map, I guess, for the game. There's a CD soundtrack and some art cards and whatnot. So yeah, it's quite a nice release, but sadly it doesn't fetch that much on eBay to make it worth putting it on eBay. I'll get just as much for it on CEX, and I won't need to post it or pay any fees. And finally, from the charity shops, this is actually from a trip to Darlington a couple of weeks ago. I'm not sure whether I went after work or not. I think I probably did. Yeah, I must have done, because there was a couple of the charity shops that already closed. I guess they close early enough for me not to catch them after work. But this one was in, I want to say Scope, but it could have been a different one, and I can't remember off the top of my head, and it doesn't say on here. But Spartacus, two series set, Blood and Sand and Gods of the Arena. Now anyone who knows me or has watched for a while knows how I feel about incomplete series box sets, and this is the definition of that. There are two more series of this. I guess this probably came out when these were the only 2 series available, but this trades in for a £5 at CEX, and that puts me in a bit of a quandary, because I'm actually going to keep these, because I used to own both of these, and when I traded mine in, I kept these. So I've actually got the sleeves, and they are barcode matching. So these do actually match the barcodes for these. So I'm actually going to keep these in their individual sleeves, and then watch out for seasons 3 and 4. Series 2 and 3, because Gods of the Arena was a sort of a mini series in between the series. It's actually really good, just as good, if not better, than the original series. But I do enjoy that a lot. So yeah, don't need that. Finally, CEX. So I had, like I mentioned in the previous video, about 50 quid's worth of vouchers, and I ended up spending them all. Not all at once though, 3 different stores in 3 different towns. So these are actually in reverse order, so we'll start at the beginning, work our way backwards, work our way forwards. So I got these in Darlington, like I say, a couple of weeks ago, the same day that I bought these two. This one I took a chance on. I do own the 2 movie set. So it's Lara Croft Tomb Raider, but this is the uncut edition. From what I can remember and what I've looked since I got back, there's no mention on that set of the first movie being the uncut edition. When I actually match up the boxes, obviously the other one has got both the first and the second movie on the back, so it's going to be different. But the special features match completely, and even the runtime on this one and the one in the box set are the same. So I'm going to assume that they are the same cut the movie, even though it doesn't actually state on that box that it is the uncut version. So it was £2. I took a chance. Then for £2.50, Survivor, Pierce Brosnan and Mila Jovovich. Love both of these actors. I've heard mixed reviews, mostly bad actually, for this film, but I'm still going to give it a go. It was only £2.50. Then the last of the Maze Runner movies that I didn't own, although I have owned in the past. I had the steelbooks for the first 2 and sold them a long time ago. Turns out though, those 2 steelbooks have longer versions of the movies, the first Maze Runner and this one, on the steelbooks than the standard Blu-rays have, and they're also a different certificate, whereas I can't speak for the other movie because I can't see it right this moment, but I think they're both certificate 12s, whereas the steelbooks were a certificate higher. So in the case of this one, it was a 15. So, but I guess they cut stuff out to get the low certificate. I'm assuming this was the version, this was the theatrical version, but I don't know that for sure. I think those uncut, I don't know if they are uncut, but those longer versions apparently are on the 4K releases, but whether they're just on the 4K discs or also on the Blu-ray discs, I don't know. But for now, I will keep an eye out for those steelbooks again. You know, I don't really, I'm saying this now, but I'm going to totally contradict myself in just a moment, but I don't normally buy steelbooks these days. I kind of fell out of love with them a long time ago. So yeah, Scotch Trials, and then finally from Darlington, finally got Logan. Quite a bit of this movie had already been spoiled for me over the last couple of years. Mostly my own fault for not getting it sooner. It didn't have the slipcover. I already have that. I already had that. But it was £4. It was at a point. This kind of held its price for quite a while, but it's finally come down to a point that I was happy to get it. And boy, did I love this film. It was fantastic, even though I knew how it ended. Yeah, I enjoyed that a lot. Then in Middlesbrough over this last week, while I was doing my jury duty, I grabbed a few things in CX in Middlesbrough. This I got for no other reason than the title. It was a £1 DVD. Yellow Hair in the Fortress of Gold. Don't know anything about this. It looks like some kind of adventure movie, possibly even an Indiana Jones type movie. I don't know. But yeah, we'll give that a try. The first series of the 100. As it turns out, I've seen this series. I've seen maybe half of the second series and kind of fell off at that point, and I've not seen anything since. As it turns out, this appears to be the only series available on Blu-ray in the UK. I haven't looked further afield. I imagine Australia probably got it. Maybe Germany, even America, I don't know. But yeah, unfortunately, the UK was the Series 1 was the only release of this show in the UK. on Blu-ray. You can get the others on DVD, I believe. And then something I almost never see in CEX, I had to grab it. Star Trek Enterprise, this one being season 2. I've seen all of these. I had the DVDs years ago. I started to watch it when it was on TV and kind of lost interest. Even though I'm a big Star Trek fan, this was just a little too different for me at the time. But I've gone back to it since and thoroughly enjoyed it, watching it on DVD. I was lucky enough to find the box sets, all 4 box sets of the first series in the limited edition plastic clamshells with the digipacks inside in CEX. One time, they weren't that expensive, I think they were £5 or £6 each. And I kind of, for over the space of a few weeks, watched a disc per night, loved it, and then got rid of them, which I never should have done. So yeah, I'm happy to finally start getting these on Blu-ray. How easy or not it's going to be to get the rest of them, I don't know, but hopefully I will at some point. Then finally, just the other day in Stockton, had the last of my vouchers left. This has been sat on the shelf since before the first lockdown. At that time it was a tenner, and I passed on it purely and simply because the poster inside had so much blue tack stuck on the back of it. Someone had obviously put it up on the wall, taken it down and left all the blue tack on, and there was a lot. And I thought I'd pass on it, I'll find a better one, and it's been there ever since. It's come down to a £5. There's a little bit of shelf wear on the spine, but it's not awful. Beverly Hills Cop, the VHS box set. When I took it up to the counter, actually the guy behind the counter saw all the blue tack and pulled it off himself. So I was quite chuffed about that. There was a little bit of residue on there, but I took it off, and it's yeah, it's pretty well gone. Comes with both the cards. Unfortunately, with a lot of these, people just don't know how to store them, so they put the poster in. As soon as they close it, it just gets caught and folded. Unfortunately, that's what always seems to happen with these second-hand. So I always try and store them with the poster and the cards in between the discs. So then the second disc comes down and stops it from getting caught and bent. Unfortunately, the damage is already done on that one. It's only a little bit, and the posters I generally don't put up anyway. So yeah, another VHS Blu-ray set that I didn't have. A film that, again, a lot of this has been spoiled. And I was waiting for this to drop to a £5. It just seems to have held its price for ages. It has come down to £6, and at this point I thought, you know, I'm going to grab it. So Terminator Dark Fate, it's the only one I haven't seen now. Again, reviews are pretty poor actually on this. I don't know that I've heard any good reviews, but that was the same with Genesis. I don't think I heard a single good review for that. I enjoy that film. It's just a good popcorn movie. One thing I will say about that film, I didn't go into it spoilt. I know a lot of people said the trailer spoilt the twist. I never saw the trailer, and I haven't. No, I tell you, actually, I have seen the trailer for this, but I got spoilt on some things on YouTube, which really pissed me off at the time. But you know, it's done now. But I'm going to watch this over this bank holiday weekend. Yeah, Terminator Dark Fate. And then finally, a couple of steelbooks, would you know. Really the only thing I buy steelbooks for these days, and I was actually debating quite recently on whether I should actually get rid of the ones I've got. I decided not to. So I got a couple of Star Wars steelbooks. I got The Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. These were £10 each. They didn't come with these J cards. I already had these. So they literally came like that. I checked them over. There's little to no scratches, nothing on the front and back covers, and no dents. Are in pretty pristine condition, other than the stickers that are on there. But when these came out, I spotted a full set of these for sale on eBay. I think I paid less than £5 for the lot, and I knew when the time came to get these, there's going to be a high chance that many of them for sale were not going to have these, because a lot of people still take these off and chuck them away or sell them on eBay. And especially in CEX, the amount of steelbooks you see in CEX that people trade in without the cards. I just thought it would be smart to have these. Who knows, when I get the rest, some of them might have these cards with them, but I don't need to worry that whether they do or not, as long as the steelbooks themselves are in good condition. So yeah, I'll be continuing looking for these. Again, these have gone down in price over lockdown. I don't think you get any of the 6 of this particular set for less than about 15 or maybe 18 quid. These were a tenner a piece. Episode 1 and 2 are £8 and £6 respectively, and then A New Hope and Revenge of the Sith I think are £12. So £12 are the most expensive ones at the moment. I think only one of those 4 is anywhere close to me. And actually, when I trade those games in, I might actually use some of that trade value to get. I think it's episode 2. That's quite local, so I might end up buying that one. And I don't know again whether that's got a J card with it or not. But anyway, so that's a couple more Star Wars steelbooks to add to the collection. Again, with a whole bunch more of stuff. So yeah, that's almost 3 weeks worth of pickups. So this has probably been a long one. It's been over 20 minutes since I came back, and I don't know how much I'd recorded before then, so this is probably going to be a long video. So what are we going to do as a, you know what, let's do something a little bit different. If you've got to the end of the video, let's just have, if you like, I mean, it's not compulsory, but just for those of people who've got to the end of the video, just comment below, do you or do you not like collecting steelbooks? I know a lot of people do, but equally some people don't. Myself, I don't. I used to. At one point I had every UK released steelbook except 6. At the point where I stopped collecting originally in, I think, 2012, there was 5. There was only 5 that had been released in the UK that I didn't have on Blu-ray. And then I stopped. Within 6 months I started again and amassed over 450 at that point. And Zavvi killed it for me with just reissuing the same steelbooks over again. And then the pricing, the pricing was extreme, even for what people would call catalogue titles, just old movies being reissued as a steelbook. So yeah, I kind of got a bit jaded with the whole steelbook collection, and I sold everything I had except for the Star Wars steelbooks and the Arrow steelbooks, and then eventually I got rid of the Arrow steelbooks. I think there was only a few that I had only the steelbooks of, and some of those I still haven't replaced with the standard edition. I do kind of regret selling those, to be honest, but I got a good price for most of them, to be fair. But if I ever wanted to recollect those, it would cost me a fortune to get them back. So there were some of them, at least. Some actually are cheaper now than they were when I sold them. They have gone down in price, but there are a few that have really gone up in price. But But anyway, yeah, just comment below if you like. Just let me know, do you religiously collect steelbooks, or maybe just the odd one if it's your favourite movie, or no, I don't get any steelbooks at all. It'd just be nice to know actually who does and who doesn't like steelbooks. Me personally, I don't care for a steelbook. The only reason I get these specifically is I'm kind of a Star Wars collector, so I get literally every release of each movie if I can get them. So you can see there, Force Awakens, there's actually 2, 4, 5, 6, 7 different editions of the Force Awakens in there. One of them's a DVD, but the other 6 are Blu-rays. And you've got a Rogue One. You know, there's again another 5 editions on Blu-ray. Solo, I think I've only got those 2. And you go down to The Last Jedi, and I've got and The Rise of Skywalker. I've got 3 or 4 of each of those as well. So I do try and collect all the Star Wars releases. And as far as steelbooks are concerned, at least, these are the last holdouts for me. And I'm only looking at UK ones. I'm not trying to get every release from around the world. I know there is a Clone Wars Blu-ray steelbook which came out. Did it come out in Holland or Germany or somewhere? But that's ridiculously expensive. You know, if that was one that was available reasonably cheap, I'd probably get it. But I'm not even going to try and look for that one because it's just, like I say, ridiculously expensive. But as far as the 6, the original trilogy and the prequel trilogy, I'll get those. I already own, apart from the 4Ks, I think I already own every other UK release steelbook. Certainly of the sequel trilogy and the original trilogy and prequel trilogy sets, the single steelbook for each of the 3 movies. So yeah, I'm pretty sure as far as UK releases go, these 6 single ones, so the Phantom Menace, Clone Wars, Revenge of the Sith, Star Wars, Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi, those for me were the last holdouts. I have the 2, and the 2 Clone Wars, not Clone Wars, Rebels, seasons 1 or 2. Doesn't look like seasons 3 or 4 are ever going to get released as a steelbook, unfortunately. So yeah, like I say, these are the last holdouts. But as they're so cheap right now, as and when I get the vouchers and they're within a reasonable driving distance that I can go and get them, I'm not going to order them on the website because I think you're just asking for trouble ordering second-hand steelbooks. Certainly from CEX, even eBay is a crapshoot unless it's somebody who deals in steelbooks a lot and knows how to package them. Anyway, I've waffled on now for a stupid amount of time. Last time I looked at this time, it was about 21 minutes. We're now at nearly 28, so I am going to go this time. So yeah, once again, thanks very much for watching, and I will catch you in the next video, hopefully. Ta-ra.